Hi, it's Naomi. So this is the special Epstein private reading. It is the paid private reading about Epstein and the allegedly accused as well, Prince Andrew, and the alleged pedophile ring that is in this world, and what is the truth about that. So cards, can you please reveal to me? We have the Prince of Wands reversed that popped out as I was speaking. And this talks about somebody who they have deviant intentions. Prince of Wands reversed is a trickster. It's somebody who is lying about something. There's something nightmarish, Nine of Swords reversed, that they're trying to avoid talking about. And you see 10 of Swords is at the bottom of the deck as well. This talks about ruin. And you see how there is a child actually in this picture. Talks about ruin and devastation. So this is directly answering our question here already, talking about how this is associated with children. That just popped out again when I'm talking. So definitely associated with children and the harm allegedly of children. So let's ask, what is Epstein's involvement in this? Was he just one small part of the puzzle? What was Epstein's involvement in this? Was he just one small part of the puzzle? The King of Swords reversed. So this might indicate Trump, because Trump allegedly was friends with Epstein. Epstein is a Capricorn, Trump is a Gemini, and I usually read Trump as the King of Swords. He's reversed. So this might lead to his association possibly with Epstein and some dishonesty surrounding that with the moon reversed. And then we have the Seven of Cups reversed, which talks about the illusions that we need to release about others. The Hermit talks about the need to spend time alone. And the Eight of Wands reverse talks about not going forward with something any longer. What are we talking about with the King of Swords not going forward with something? What are we talking about with the King of Swords not going forward with something? Talks about Fox not going forward with something due to somebody's cunning and dishonesty. The Fox, that's not a good card. What is the Fox talking about in regards to the King of Swords that is possibly Trump? What is that Fox talking about? Flames. So it talks about this dishonesty being increased. Whatever the flames comes out after, it's increasing whatever came out before it. What is dishonest about Trump in relation to Epstein? What is dishonest? Because remember, Moon Reverse talks about dishonesty, and the Fox also talks about dishonesty. What is dishonest about this relationship? The Eye, people who are viewing them maybe have been told a different story. What's been told that's a different story? Good luck, four-leaf clover talks about the good luck that's bestowed upon somebody. But then we have dark clouds surrounding this person, dark clouds surrounding them, and a pig, which again talks about good luck. So it's kind of contradictory. So let me put the cards back in and we're going to get more to the heart of the situation. So we're going to clarify this King of Swords reverse that just came out when we were talking about Epstein, and we're going to ask directly. So what is the King of Swords, which is most likely Trump? What is the involvement with Epstein? What is Trump's involvement with Epstein? What is his involvement with Epstein? Ace of Swords. It was an intellectual partnership, and the Tower, something big happened to make the relationship crumble down. Somebody didn't use their intuition regarding this relationship, and it was because of the things with the children, the Ten of Swords, the alleged things with the children or the underage girls. They're still considered children if they're 14, 15, however old they allegedly were. The Wheel of Fortune reverse talks about the negative karma surrounding that. And then the Five of Swords talks about somebody being overwhelmed with that. And at the middle of the deck, the Princess of Pentacles talks about taking cautious action. So maybe this was a double-edged sword relationship. And then the shit hit the fan. The Tower talks about the shit hitting the fan when Trump realized that there was possibly shady business allegedly going on that involved minors or children with Epstein. And he wasn't listening to his intuition in regarding that. And because of that, he decided not to go on with this friendship with Epstein. I think this is actually talking about him holding back from Epstein as a person because he realized, I think he always knew, elites know what other elites are doing, but that's not his thing, right? Trump is a womanizer, but I'm not getting from these cards that he was involved in that. What I am getting is the Bear, success. He was involved in money, and he was involved with his children, his family, especially with Ivanka. But there was some kind of calamities and danger associated with being involved with Epstein. And he realized that it would cause quarrels in his family, and the birds, people would talk about it. So he decided not to go forward with this relationship any longer. Wheel of Fortune reversed. So what I'm getting is it's like he proceeded with caution with him, Princess of Pentacles, and he decided to break up this relationship. Two of Cups reversed, and he decided to no longer associate around him, Lovers reversed. and he decided to listen to a Queen of Pentacles. There was a woman in his life who was the Queen of Pentacles who somehow advised him against continuing to associate so much with Epstein and to put more focus on his family, on his kids. Now, it doesn't mean that he doesn't allegedly have affairs with women, but I'm not getting a sense that he did anything shady in the shady business of liking the same types of underage women that Epstein likes. And I'm not saying that because I like Trump. I didn't vote, as I always say on the channel, but I am getting it wasn't actually involvement on his part. It was actually trying to distance himself from Epstein because he figured out like, wow, he's really into like underage girls. Yeah, he didn't want to go forward anymore with the relationship. 8 of Wands reversed, and then the 7 of Cups reversed. Wanting to release the illusions, not wanting to go forward anymore. It was stagnating energy. So let's ask directly about Andrew now. Trump already came out, so we're going to ask about Andrew. What was going on with Andrew? What was going on with Andrew? What was going on with Andrew with regards to Epstein? What was going on with Andrew allegedly in regards to Epstein? Oh, that is interesting. This flew out upright. So this means proceeding forward. 8 of Wands is upright. 4 of Swords talks about peace and balance and wanting to feel more balanced. Supporting that is courage, 7 of Wands. And behind that is the 10 of Pentacles, being associated with the kingdom somehow, possibly the palace. And in front of that is the Prince of Cups upright. So it talks about somebody who says sweet, nice things, things that you want to hear. And behind that, 2 of Pentacles talks about balance. They had a balanced friendship. It means that they were pretty tight. Ace of Wands. These two were tight together. I got a bunch of negative cards when we talked about Trump and Epstein. I got a bunch of negative cards, and we're talking about Andrew and Epstein. And allegedly, they had some nice friendship going on there. Now, when shit hit the fan, Tower reversed, they were on shaky ground. Their relationship was on the rocks, and he didn't feel balanced anymore. 2 of Swords reversed, Andrew. But before, the situation with these two was he was going forward with the relationship with Epstein. He was like buddy-buddy with him because, you know, that saying, birds of a feather flock together. And then we have the 4 of Swords talking about how he was finding inner peace somehow through this relationship. Maybe he felt peaceful on the island. Ace of Wands talking about wanting to go forward with passion. Prince of Cups talking about how he tried to appeal to these young ladies allegedly. 2 of Pentacles talking about how he felt like this was a balanced relationship. And then the 10 of Pentacles talking about how this was, you know, let's, you know, associate with this guy. And I'm from a palace. I'm from this 10 of Pentacles palace, how it was involved and how it was hush hush, you know. So we definitely have, I can't say whether or not he actually did stuff with the girls that he's accused of, because this is all alleged. It's not fact. It is on public domains and it is on the news, etc. What the cards are reflecting is that birds of a feather flock together. You are the company you keep. And sometimes you're not, but a lot of times you are. In Trump's case, I'm getting that they weren't the company they keep. But in Andrew's case, I'm getting, look at that, shaking hands together. The bad luck, the mirror. And then in the middle of the situation, loss by theft. Difficult situation that is irretrievable. So it's like who he chose to be around, the things he chose to do around Epstein, etc., the agreements, the handshakes, that was not good for his image. The mice were around, and there was a loss of some level of his image that he was trying to portray, a loss of having a clean image because of his association with Epstein. So is there some kind of divine like master plan of good versus evil with there is a pedophilia or, you know, sex trafficking ring in this world, because we have energy vampires who are trying to suck out the energy from, you know, children and women to try to boost themselves up? Is this really a spiritual war that's going on right now? Is this really a spiritual war that's going on right now? Yes, the order talks about yes. When you get the star, it means yes to a yes or no question. The pig also denotes yes, that we got yes to this. And it has to do, a lot of it has to do with money. Money is the main motivation here. If they're trying to make it look like everything's pretty, everything's like a bouquet of flowers, and, you know, we're agreeable, the handshake, and we have our riches and we want to keep our riches. You know, the man and the woman, men and women alike, are supporting this type of sick behavior. And they're trying to produce this image of luck, of fortune, that they have this good fortune. But their elite little club is really ruled by snakes, which could also symbolize the reptilians or the devil. So we have a lot of this energy coming in here, this demonic kind of energy symbolized by the snake. They want to make everything look beautiful with the rose, but inside they have the scythe, the death of things, the early death of things, the death of innocence. Are reptilians real on an energetic level? Now, when I talk about reptilians, I don't mean like there's actual little reptile beings running around somewhere. I mean more on a spiritual level. Like when I have a video on my channel called What Are Reptilians, or What I Think of Reptilians. I look at reptilians as basically demonic entities like the jinn in Islam and the demons in Christianity and the Torah. So when I talk about reptilians, which are alien space beings that take over the elite's bodies and do horrible things like, run alleged pedophilia rings. When I talk about reptilians, I don't mean actual reptile aliens like some people say. Like, I believe David Icke allegedly says that on his channel, but that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is like demons, basically, as they're demonic forces, demonic entities possessing the elites in the world. And this is a battle between good and evil. And so like when those alien, conspiracy theorists talk about the Palladians, I view the Palladians as not so much an alien race, but like positive good entities like guides and angels and high vibrational spirit beings. So is this really a war between the demons or the reptilians and the Palladians or the angels and the guides? Is this really a spiritual war that's going on here? And these demons get energy off of preying upon women and children because their life force is sucked in by these demonic entities. Is this really what's going on here? Two of Cups reversed talks about disillusioned relationships. King of Wands upright talks about a male fire sign somehow associated with the situation. High Priestess upright talks about our intuition and our spiritual knowledge. Two of Wands reversed talks about the imbalance with that. Eight of Wands reversed talks about the being held back from going forward. Queen of Cups reversed talks about a female who is very hurt, who is very sad about the situation. The Tower talks about the shaky ground that the world is on right now, and the Fool reverse talks about the poor decisions people are making right now. King of Pentacles reversed, again, talks about a man who is very greedy, very selfish, right? So we're just going to go further into this. The handshake talks about the agreement. The letter talks about news that is coming. The ring talks about the commitment to something. Anchoring talks about solidifying. The fox talks about deception at the heart of the situation. So what I think it is despite the sadness that this causes to women, who most of the targets, because most of the children that are targeted as well, allegedly, are girls. And then they grow into women who are very emotionally imbalanced due to this abuse. They grow into women who feel unbalanced. Two of Wands reversed. And the elites or the reptilian or demonic entities have made an agreement, right, to anchor themselves. They made an agreement to anchor themselves in this and to spread the news that, they're to be trusted with the ring. But in actuality, their relationships are not positive relationships. Two of Cups reversed. And if we use our intuition, we would see that with the Eight of Wands reversed, something isn't right about how they want to proceed with their relationships. They are on shaky ground, and this can also represent the Tower of Babel. The tower literally, actually, in this type of reading can represent the Tower of Babel or Babylon, where we're talking about in the Bible, where they talk about the sinful people and how they committed so many sins and so many dirty things and so many awful things, and they were punished by God, or they needed to get their just punishment. So what I'm feeling intuitively is that, yes, they are trying to project a together positive, solid image of elite people in society, of famous people with the ring. And they are distracting us with marriages, like, talking all about people who just got married and their relationships. They distract us with relationships as well. But really what's going on behind the scenes is a lot darker. And it is a battle between the good forces versus the evil. And the evil forces a lot of times require us to have a lot of strength against that, as I said in my public videos, as light workers, as light beings, or as people who are a positive vibration spiritually, must stand strong in strength against this. If we want to see the results, we need Eight of Pentacles results. We have to stand strong in the world in the face of this energy. We have to be able to push forward. Eight of Wands, at least, even if it means vibrating in your positivity to counteract that negativity. So let's just see what's really going on, though. Can we get some more information on this? Is Epstein only the tip of the iceberg? Are there more people involved in this? Are there more people involved in this directly? Are there more people involved in this directly? Magician reverse talks about the trickster. It talks about the person trying to fool others. And the King of Wands reverse talks about a male fire sign who is a deceiver. Six of Wands upright wants to portray a positive image to others, but that's not the reality. 10 of Cups reversed. So there is a man who is a male fire sign who is, and also a male air sign, possibly in the reverse, the King of, or the Knight of Swords reversed, who is trying to portray a positive image to the world of victory, 6 of Wands, but they are a trickster, they're a deceiver, and they have the 10 of Cups reversed. They are the opposite of what a happy family is. This person is deceptive, is a liar, is a trickster. Some man who's associated with things, a male fire sign somehow who's associated with all of this. Ace of Wands, a lot of this has to do with gaining power, gaining energy. The Wands talk about power and energy and life force. This has to do with gaining life force from these victims. It has to do with sucking the life out of them and putting them in nightmarish situations, 9 of Swords, nightmarish situations and circumstances, and sucking all of the strength from them and gaining strength within themselves. This is what these demonic forces do. They suck all the strength from the victims and put them in the reverse. They put them in the reverse, and it's Lovers reverse because it's not the type of lovers they should be having. And it's Temperance reverse because they're not using caution with these people. And it's 3 of Pentacles reverse because they're not respecting these people. They're not looking at them from a distance, right? They're telling them sweet words, Prince of Cups. They're seeming like they're empathetic, Queen of Hearts. But they're bringing them on the journey of the Fool, like kind of like this almost looks like if he had a flute, he could be the Pied Piper. You know, he's leading them on this little journey. Right? And it's not a positive journey. It's one filled with illusions. 4 of Cups reversed. It's one filled with illusions, and it's meant to deceive. So what is the past, present, and future of all of this? What is the past, present, and future of all of this? Will the things with Epstein just be swept under the rug? Will the things with Epstein just be swept under the rug? Will we hear more about Hollywood sex rings or elite sex rings in the world, alleged sex rings? Will we hear more about this, or will it all be swept under the rug? Will it all be swept under the rug? Okay, the Mountain talks about the obstacles that we must overcome, and the Letter talks about the news that we will hear, and then the Mice talk about loss and theft. So the Mountain talks about the obstacle we must overcome to get to the truth. The Fish talks about wanting to distract us with fame and riches, and the Letter talks about the news that we will hear once more that will anchor us into the truth. We will unlock the door to the truth. However, we will lose people again. And they may be off in distant lands. They may be put in distant lands. They may be buried possibly in the ocean. There may be some kind of movement through the ocean that's a loss by theft. The Mice talking about loss by theft means that something is stolen from these people. Something is stolen from these people. So their lives might be stolen. So yes, there might be more people revealed, but who are involved in this type of alleged behavior, but their lives might be stolen from them again, or they may be moved somewhere with the ship. Is Epstein still alive? I already did a reading on this, but I'm going to ask it again. Is Epstein still alive? Is Epstein still alive? Is Epstein still alive? Is he still alive? Is Epstein still alive? The Letter talks about news. The Bride talks about commitment to something. The Pig talks about good luck, riches, and fortune. The Chest talks about money and loss of money. Maybe he paid quite a lot of money to somebody for something. The Lightning talks about something taking us by surprise, and the Fox talks about deception. So we definitely have been lied to in the news somehow about this. And the Lightning is the surprise of his death. The Chest talks about a loss of money. The Pig talks about riches and good luck. The Bride talks about a commitment, and the Letter talks about news coming somehow. So let's just ask the Tarot. Is he alive or is he dead? Is he alive or is he dead? Is Epstein alive or is he dead? Is Epstein alive or is he dead? It said in my first reading that he was dead, but he was forced to commit suicide, well, basically allegedly murdered. But let's just ask, is he alive or dead? Well, he wasn't allowed to go forward anymore. Prince of Swords reversed. He gained some kind of strength, though, and then released illusions, 4 of Cups. The Moon is that we're being deceived somehow. And the Fool reverse indicates the lack of going on your journey, not going on your journey any longer, your journey being cut short. I sense that we are being lied to, we are being deceived. We are being deceived with what we're being told with the letter, and we're being painted a happier picture than what it is, or a different picture than what it is with the bride. And they're trying to make us focus on riches and fame, the pig with other people. And we were taken by surprise by this news. But they're concerned with money associated with the situation somehow. And I feel like it's what the original reading said. He's no longer here, but we're being deceived about why he went or how he went, or that it was a suicide. We're being deceived about the suicide part. That's what I'm still getting. I'm not getting that he's still alive, though. I don't feel that he's alive and living somewhere. I think he was too much of a risk to keep around. And I do think that he took one for the team, so to speak, and he's not here any longer. Whether he wanted to take one for the team or not, I feel like he took one for the team. Four of Swords reverse, not at peace. His soul is not at peace. King of Cups. This is associated with a male water sign somehow. Now, Epstein was a Capricorn. A male water sign might have ordered this to happen. Maybe somebody associated with the royals ordered for this to happen. Three of Cups talks about a celebration. They feel relieved that he's no longer here. The Empress feels relieved that he's no longer here. I think this talks possibly about members of the royal family who feel relieved that Epstein is no longer here. Do they really feel relieved? Is it the royals that really feel relieved? Do they really feel relieved that he's not here? Prince of Cups reversed. They feel like he can't say anything. He's been shut up. He can't say anything. All is well. All is well in the palace. Ten of Pentacles. All is well in the palace. What are some advice cards of what we can do about situations like this? What is advice that we can do in the world about situations like this? What's some last advice that you can give to us? What's some last advice that you can give to us, cards? What's some last advice that you can give to us about what to do in this world with this kind of situation? What can we do? We're trapped. Eight of Swords. We're trapped. We can research the details all we want and think positive, Princess of Cups, and that is all we can really do. But the nightmare will persist. Nine of Swords, the nightmare persists. We may not hear what we always want to hear, Princess of Swords reverse, and it's a double-edged sword. But things may seem uncertain in the world, the Hanged Man, they may seem uncertain, but we must just focus on our own stability. And yes, the nightmare is not going to go away, and we want to speak kind words and hear kind words, Princess of Hearts, but that doesn't mean that we're not surrounded by all corners by these types of people. These types of people persist in our universe, and they are not going away anytime soon, but the best that we can do is think positive, treat our lives positively, and vibrate in that positivity so that we can balance out the karma of our world and our own karma and exist within it. There isn't really much we can do because the first card that came out is the Eight of Swords, being surrounded at all sides. And then again, we have Seven of Swords, again, being surrounded. This is more attack, being surrounded by these negative lovers, these people who take negative lovers, meaning they don't take the right, appropriate types of lovers. They don't use temperance in their life. They use lust, and they use perversions. All we can do to recenter ourselves is, though there will be strife in the world, though there will be the birds that foretell misfortune, there will be the birds that talk about evil or surrounding us. The birds are not positive in this deck. We must just focus on our own growth with the tree. We must just focus on our own commitment to our own growth in our life, our commitment with the ring to our growth in our life and our own good luck. It doesn't mean not realizing that these things are true, but it means not dwelling on them. There is such a control with these forces in the world, it's very difficult to escape them. We can only support each other. We can only support each other. They will receive their final judgment, but that's not up for us to decide. Try to remove yourself as much from this as possible. Do not support these people. Do not get caught up in the cult of celebrity. Because the Ten of Swords, it cannot be avoided. It will still exist in this world. These alleged terrible actions towards minors, towards women, these types of things will exist in this world. We cannot overcome them. We cannot remove all of that from this world. But we can focus on building our own lives as happy, being as kind as we can in our own lives, in our own mini universes, and building up the vibration of the whole world. Thank you for watching. I hope that gave you more details on what you guys wanted to know about. And my readings are entertainment only. They're not fact-based. They're not proven. I'm not liable or responsible for any decisions people make after my readings. And it is not meant to be taken as fact. If you believe, but it's all subjective. It's all by feeling. And if you want your own reading, as I always say, email me at naomitarot1199@gmail.com. And everything, all the information, all the photos I use on my channel are from a public domain. Thanks. Bye-bye.